pay for every meter cube. There are also tariffs. So we will talk about this much further later. And then the topic we are interested today is actually the electrical energy that we use. How do TNB bill us? Okay. So basically, how do we measure how much electrical energy is the same as water? Okay, because it's like kilowatt hour is actually the charge. All right. So that one we'll go through further in much details later. But for the introduction slides, so let's have a look. Introduction. What? What? Why? Who? When? Which? And finally, one how. Okay. Sorry about that. So I will share this in these coming slides. Okay. On electrical energy savings. Okay. So next, what? First, not next. First, what? What is the idea in saving electricity? And if you can see, the attached figure is about different appliances. And if the slide is not that clear, later I have provided the link as well here. And check it out. So basically, you have this oven, aircon, air conditioner, TV, Wi-Fi system, okay, refrigerator, and it shows you how much it costs per month for use. Okay, so you have an idea of that different appliances use different amounts of energy. Okay, so the idea is when we know how they use this electrical energy to feed their operation, maksudnya macam mana dia gunakan tenaga elektrik ini untuk beroperasi. The first step, if you want to save electricity, is to minimize usage, minimumkan penggunaan. So it's a bit difficult, but then ensure usage as essentials only. Gunakan penggunaan ini khas untuk yang perlu, right? Just like our PKP, only the essential services are allowed to operate. So that's how we would like to use electricity. Guna untuk yang penting saja. Okay. Alright. Next. Sama ada nak save what is the idea in saving electricity? Eradicate wastage. Singkirkan pembaziran. Right. A lot. I will discuss this in the coming slides. Then use electricity only up to the reduced tariff block. Right. I believe that if you pay your own electricity bill, that you know the first 200 kilowatt hours is charged at the minimum rate, which is around 21 cents. So if your bill is more than 45 ringgit, let's say, then for sure you are using more than the reduced tariff block. Right. So untuk rakan-rakan yang tak clear sangat tadi, basically guna elektrik kalau boleh jangan banyak sangat sampai kena charge pada tarif yang mahal. Alright. Okay, next. Use energy efficient appliances. Yes, ini ramai yang dah nampak. Suruhanjaya Tenaga pun ada membantu kita dengan memberi star rating, energy star rating untuk alat-alat. Jadi, we choose the 5-star ratings because they are so-called the energy efficient appliances. Okay. Now, but then take note that the inverter system helps a lot in reducing the energy used for that particular purpose. Maksudnya kalau awak pakai sistem yang inverter, awak menjimat banyak. Why? Because of the duty cycle that also will be discussed by this hour. Next, identify whether you want or need. So the two very big words here when you want to justify your use of electrical energy. Whether you want to use the appliance because you want to, or you use the appliance because you need to use the appliance. So that one you have to identify. Then you can have a better energy or electrical energy saving scheme. All right. Last but not the least is knowledge on how much your appliance, sorry, there's the bar, Google bar there. Okay, how knowledge on how much your appliances use electricity. We need to know whether being sama ada kita guna oven ke, kita guna aircon, kita guna peti sejuk, freezer, TV. So how much energy does they suck? Okay, kalau untuk alat-alat elektrik berapa banyak tenaga yang digunakan, kita patut tahu. Then kita boleh dapat menjimatkan tenaga. Right. So before we go through the next slide, which is the motivation. Why do we need to save energy? I need to inform that the chat is open. If you have any problem, whatever, you can write on the chat box, and I will try to serve your queries. Oh, baiklah. Okey, dan juga untuk yang lain-lain, kalau ada apa-apa nak tanya, boleh chat. Kalau malu nak blogs ataupun malu nak tanya saya directly, pakai mic, boleh chatting, dan saya akan cuba selesaikan apa isu yang timbul dari chat tersebut. Right, so kenapa nak save electricity? Why do we need to save this electricity apart from the cost and so on? I include here a picture of this temperature change in the last 50 years. So this is, everyone is aware about this. We are facing this global warming. All right, global warming, and if you are about my age, kalau awak umur saya, kesan global warming ni first yang kita dah tengok ialah this La Nina or El Nino yang menyebabkan kalau hujan lama, panas lama. So those La Nina and El Nino effects, all right, is an example of the global warming, the outcome of global warming. So we have to do a part, and then if you want to know more, this global warming very directly related to our carbon footprint. And so let's go through the motivation of why we need to save electricity. Number one, we want to minimize cost. Save energy to minimize cost, for sure. All right. Number two, save cost to ensure financial sustainability. All right. We save cost to ensure financial sustainability, which means like the usage of our electricity is not that much until that we cannot pay in the coming months or coming years. And so nak jimatkan kos ni supaya macam guna blender. Bunyi macam guna blender. Alright. So tengah guna electricity tu, berapa, how many kilowatts blender tu punya rating. Dan kalau kita tengok kita guna blender pun dalam masa satu hari berapa lama sangat. So berapa banyak kilowatt hour blender tu pakai. So things like that kita kena ambil idea. Right, sambung balik. Let's continue. What is the motivation for saving electricity? Save cost. Then, yes, save bill lah. So it's about the same. Save bill to ensure ability to cover cost. This number 2 and number 3 is about the same. I just noticed it. Sorry about that. Number 4. This is very general and this is actually very important. All right. We save energy to reduce dependency on fossil fuel sources. All right. Basically, 80% in Malaysia, around 80% of the electrical energy is still dependent on fossil fuel, which is coal. All right, arang batu, coal. So the more we use electricity, actually, we are still increasing the carbon footprint. When you increase the carbon footprint, the global warming effect carries on. Alright. Jadi kalau tak jaga penggunaan karbon kita sebab kita guna arang batu semua, gas carbon dioksida yang dilepaskan dan macam-macam lagi. Okay, gas carbon dioksida macam-macam lagi boleh ada, boleh bertambah. So effect of global warming tu akan bertambah lagi. Dan sekarang pun kalau kita tengok, if we look at this PKP period, the carbon footprint has been reduced by a lot. Okay, so why we save electricity? So let's look at the last one. We save energy to reduce the carbon footprint that promotes the global warming. All right, so 80% of electricity is still from fuel sources. Okay, right. So regarding this matter, if you refer to United Nations, they have this SDG. SDG is Sustainable Goal Development. All right. Sorry, SDG, Sustainable Developmental Goals. Sustainable Developmental Goals. Maksudnya pengembangan ataupun target-target perkembangan yang lestari, sustainable. So ada 20 of SDGs, Sustainable Developmental Goals that are recommended by UN. So amongst them is using solar and so on. Lots of them, 20. So have a look in your free time. Take a note, and then try to promote energy savings everywhere you can. All right. Next, okay, we are still in the same slides. Yeah, when? The next W is when. When should we be thinking of saving electricity? Anytime. But maybe in particular, before using an electrical appliance, or when you use an electrical appliance, when you use your iron, when you iron your clothes, have a thought. How can I save energy when I use iron? Okay, fikir-fikir sikit macam mana bila kita guna streka tu, macam mana nak jimatkan tenaga. Alright. Next. Before deciding to buy an electrical appliance, right? You want a conditioner to cool down your room, so you need to buy an air conditioner. Then, what elements of energy savings that you can include when you want to buy? Nak fikir apa pasal nak jimatkan tenaga bila nak beli aircon? For sure, fikir dia punya penggunaan tenaga. Think of its energy usage, and ST, Suruhanjaya Tenaga, have given us this energy star rating. 5 star is the best, so we can think about it. All right, we can decide on the appliance that we want to buy, based on their energy rating. Okay, but also don't forget we have this inverter system. All inverter systems are 5 ratings, 5 star energy ratings, but actually they do perform much better than the non-inverter systems. We will touch a little bit on this later. Next, before you dispose any electrical appliances, you also have to think, because whenever you dispose an electrical appliance, you have to buy a new one. Okay. So when building a new electrical system for your home, or maybe you have a new building, who knows, you are a very rich guy, okay, you have your own building, then to think about the electrical system so that you don't lose energy, or you don't waste energy to maintain or to operate your building. And in a case in our house, that's our own building, we have to think like, should we redo the wiring if the wiring is getting bad? You know, in Malaysia, nobody checks our wiring status, right? But tak ada orang check pun dekat rumah kita wiring macam mana, elok lagi ke tidak. So it all depends on us. Okay, itu yang satu. According to the Electricity Supply Act, Akta Bekalan Elektrik, whatever, semua barang-barang yang daripada meter ke dalam rumah kita adalah tanggungjawab pengguna. So you have to think of it. Then when you want to think about financial sustainability, right? Pendapatan dan perbelanjaan, dan bill electricity is one of your expenses, perbelanjaan. Okay, so should be thinking of saving energy all the time supaya perbelanjaan pun dikurangkan. Okay. Next, oops, sorry about that. Number 9, nampak macam simple. When should we think of energy saving? When we think of the future, right? So most of us have families, all right? You have your next generations. So I don't know. Even sekarang, waktu sekarang ni, masa ni, at the present time, we were thinking that our ancestors during the Industrial Revolution have used up a lot of the energy from this fossil fuel, leaving us with this problem. All right? But at least our generation, we are taking some steps from an organization, United Nations or whatever, even though not all countries are in the same wavelength, but at least there's something. So we need to think of the future. We have to put ourselves in our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren's shoes later. If we use up all the fossil fuel, they will be having a much bigger problem than us. So I hope, yeah, this could like become the motivation also for us to save energy. All right, let me share you the next slide. All right, diam tak diam dah 21 minit. It's 21 minutes already now. Oh yeah, this course is not recorded. Okay, no CPDs or whatever, but at least I share what I think can help. Okay, which appliances, when you say which appliances can really help us, all right, on saving electricity? If you look at the figure there, I share with you a pressure washer. The power rating is 2100 watt water jet. Okay, if you use this water jet non-stop for 1 hour, then the amount of energy you'll be using is 21,000 watt hours, which is already like 2 kilowatts. Okay, 2 kilowatts, if it's in the reduced tariff, would cost you around 45 cents. Okay, so but then this is just an example of high power appliances. So dalam bahasa Malaysia pula, saya nak share bahawa contoh ni water jet je 2100 watt. Okay, awak guna sejam 2100 watt jam, sama dengan 2.1 kilowatt jam. Itu lebih kurang dalam 45 sen kos dia. Okey. Tapi apa peralatan lain yang ada juga yang tinggi? Washing machine. Tapi lebih tinggi di electrical energy consumption is much higher if the washing machine comes with a dryer. Okay, because dryer you have to heat up. Next, vacuum cleaner, water jet. Okay. Next, okay, this list I arrange according to the power rating lah. A very big refrigerator. All right, if you have a very big refrigerator, cost also, because refrigerator you turn it on all the time, but it doesn't work all the time. Okay, we will discuss this when I talk about duty cycle. High power air conditioners, 1 horsepower, 2 horsepower. 1 horsepower is around 750 watts. Okay, 0.75 kilowatt 1 horsepower tu. Okay, kalau 2 horsepower, around 1.5 kilowatts. Okay, 5 horsepower and so on. Okay, you can do the maths yourself. Next, water heaters iron. Right, in our house we do have heating appliances, and heating up uses up a lot of electrical energy. Right, tereka, pemanas air kita mandi, itu semua guna banyak tenaga juga. Next, what? Water kettle. The same case. Alright. Banyak guna pemanasan, heating up. Fan. Yes. Almost all houses have this fan. Alright, the table fan, yes, ataupun kipas meja around 60 watts. Kipas ceiling, the ceiling fan maybe 100 watts, depends on what model. Okay. Lighting. So amongst the cheapest cost of a house is the lighting, but still if we can, we can save when we use the lighting efficiently as well. Okay, there are methods, ada cara-cara. So pencahayaan di rumah ni antara kos yang paling rendah. Okay, walaupun rendah, kita masih boleh buat penjimatan. Right. So for today's discourse untuk hari ini, siapa yang patut bertindak? Who should act in this energy saving scheme? I write there, every individual who depends on this technology, means everyone who uses electricity, you should act. Next, organisation, badan-badan persatuan, ada 2-3 orang, if they becomes aware, dia sedar, persatuan sedar, maka ini pun boleh dikongsikan dengan orang-orang lain. Kita perlu jimat tenaga elektrik. Semua kerajaan di dunia, all the governments should have this idea. But actually, still not all the superpowers agree with the Kyoto Pact and so on. So they have their own considerations. So you have to give them the benefit of the doubt, even though their actions affect the whole world. Still, you have to give them the benefit of the doubt. Alright, kerajaan-kerajaan yang ada kat dunia ni bukan semua yang sokong usaha-usaha untuk menurunkan kesan global warming. Alright, tapi kita tetap tak boleh nak menyalahkan mereka sebab masing-masing ada keperluan masing-masing sendiri. Alright, so this issue is the same as our house. Alright, for your house, you know what is the requirement in your house. Maybe someone in your house have eczema, so there are some rooms which you might need to control the humidity, so you use an air conditioner there. And if that person has that eczema, very serious eczema, you need to keep the air conditioner turned on 24 hours. So that is the requirement. So you know, alright. So macam juga di rumah kita masing-masing pun hanya kita yang tahu apa keperluan rumah. Orang lain tak tahu. Okay, so kita perlu sesuaikan keperluan rumah tu. Kadang-kadang kita perlu aircon sebab ada orang yang sakit kulit, tak boleh lembap sangat udara. So kena aircon 24 jam. Itu dah jadi keperluan, requirement. So terpaksa gunakan tenaga di situ. Next, power providers. Yes, power providers ni perlu bertindak juga, dan dia perlu bertindak di 3 peringkat. Peringkat pertama, bila dia nak menjana tenaga. When they want to generate energy, they have to think of this energy saving. Peringkat kedua, second stage, when they want to transmit this electrical energy to the consumers using the transmission line, pun kena fikirkan penjimatan. Alright. So amongst the reason we high voltage is this. When you want to transmit power, we want to minimize the losses. Okay. Next, every industry that serves the need of the Earth's population. Alright. So semua industri perlu peka juga. Okay. Because they are using energy. Okay. Manufacturing, teaching, even ourselves. Okay. Sometimes when we come to the office alone, there's no one else. Why do we have to turn on the air conditioner for the whole office? Okay, so things like that have to be embedded in our way of working. Right, next, who else? Every researcher or every inventor, you have inventor, you have to have this idea. Whatever you do, minimize the energy use. Minimize the energy use. Why? You would cut costs, you would produce efficient energy usage inventions. Alright, even you do invent something that's not related to energy usage, but when the invention wants to operate, it uses just enough energy. Alright, so those are the things that we would like to have, everyone. So now comes to the half hour. I spent half an hour to just talk about energy concepts and so on. Now comes to the crux of this discourse, which is how to save energy. So sekarang kita nak tengok macam mana jimat tenaga. Okay. Tak keluar pula. Okay. Number 1, acquire knowledge on how electrical energy is converted to other forms of energy in our everyday life. So whoever listens here, one thing, energy can neither be created or destroyed. So there's no perpetual energy. Energy doesn't come free. Okay, you have to convert it from another form of energy. Nowadays, lots of them are using fossil fuel. Alright, so kena ambil tahu. Kita kena ambil tahu bagaimana tenaga elektrik ni ditukarkan kepada tenaga-tenaga lain. Contoh dalam aircon, air conditioner, ada kipas untuk tiup angin sejuk. There's a fan to blow off the cold wind. But the cold, who drops down the temperature of that air? There's a compressor. Ada compressor dalam aircon. Compressor tu ada motor. Motor tu berpusing untuk memampatkan gas. So, tenaga elektrik ditukarkan kepada tenaga kinetik dalam 2 operasi aircon. Satu untuk tiup angin tu, kedua ialah untuk memampatkan gas supaya kemudian gas tu boleh gas aircon boleh sejukkan udara yang kita tiup dalam rumah. Okay, so we need to know the knowledge. So in this case, nak tahu how much we save, we need to know how it is measured. Macam mana tenaga elektrik tu diukur? Then we have to start to think. Alright, we have to start to think a bit. How is it measured? How is it measured? There. Kilowatt hour is equals to meter cube. This is electrical energy. This is water. So water is measured in meter cube. Electrical energy is in kilowatt hour. If water, you can see the volume of water. In electrical energy, you cannot see the volume. But you know energy is used by that much, as if it is a volume of water. Right? For those who are not clear, bagi saya terangkan sikit. Tenaga elektrik ni walaupun diukur dalam kilowatt jam, tapi dia sama macam air. Lagi banyak tenaga air kita guna, lagi banyak meter padu. Kita pun faham meter padu tu masuk dalam tangki tu kita guna air dia. Tapi dalam elektrik ni tak ada simpan dalam tangki, terus ke peralatan. Okay. Lagi banyak kita guna, lagi banyak kilowatt hours. Okay. So, one more thing, in a household, okay, the amount of energy used can be compared with the amount of water being used. Right. So, boleh compare. Kalau bil air dengan bil api, boleh compare. Macam yang the first slides that I shared with you. Okay, next. This is just kilowatt, K is changed to kilowatt hour. Because in electrical engineering, watt hour is equivalent to the charge. Or not the charge, is equivalent to the energy. How many joules we use. Okay. In meter cube, how much volume of water we use. In watt hours, how much joules do we. Okay. So this is the idea. Even though this is just water tank, this tank, when water flows, it turns the water wheel. Okay, it turns the water wheel. And then the amount of water inside this tank will reduce. And if you compare with the electrical circuit, this is the work done in lighting up this lamp globe. Okay, this lamp is taken from this battery, and battery will also, the charge inside the battery will also reduce. Okay, why? Because the charge have been used to produce light. Okay, so in other words, the more mechanical or heating or lighting loads you use, it is as if you use more water if you compare it with water. So that's why I share with you this slide. Alright. So untuk yang lain, saya kongsikan slide ni sebab secara asasnya berapa banyak tenaga elektrik kita guna sama macam air. Air berapa banyak kita guna, kita tahu kita sebab dah simpan dalam tangki. Tapi untuk litar elektrik, tenaga elektrik ni terus digunakan oleh peralatan. Macam dalam kes ni menyalakan lampu dan hilang, disimpan dalam situ. Okay. So basically the point yang nak stresskan kat sini, berapa banyak tenaga kita gunakan sama juga macam mana dia kira banyak-banyak air kita gunakan. Kalau air dalam bentuk volume, tenaga dalam bentuk joule. Okay? Dan berapa banyak joule kita gunakan, tenaga tu kita tukarkan dalam tenaga kinetik ke mechanical. Tenaga tu juga kita tukar dalam bentuk haba. Tenaga tu juga kita tukar dalam bentuk cahaya. So basically 3 cara kita gunakan tenaga elektrik. Right. So this figure, kalau nak tahu lebih lanjut pasal electrical and water analogy, you can go to this link. Alright. Next, we have to go to this quite quickly. Okay. So it's the same thing. Amount of energy is equivalent. I'm sorry I use the word sama dengan, but it's equivalent amount of water supplied in meter cubes. So again, then depending on your appliance, bergantung kepada peralatan apa yang awak guna. If the appliance have higher kilowatts, 1000 watts or so on, if you compare it to your water system, it is like you having a bigger pipe or tap size. Okay, so it's like this. Okay, see, you have one shower head which is small, the other shower head which is bigger, comparable to this 3 fans. These 3 fans, this is maybe 12 inch, this is maybe 16 inch fan, this maybe like 24 inch fan, I'm not sure, but their power rating is higher. Okay, so you have a higher rating appliance, more water flows out. Alright, so ini saya nak bandingkan dengan alat-alat yang kadar kuasanya tinggi, wattnya tinggi, samalah juga macam kita pakai shower head yang berbeza. Ini shower head besar, yang ini shower head kecil. Okay. So senang cerita, kalau kita banyak pakai alat-alat aircon, kita pakai 2 horsepower aircon atau 3 horsepower aircon, samalah macam dekat rumah kita, kepala pipe dia semua besar-besar, air yang keluar pun sekali buka terus banyak. Okay. So harap dapat take note yang itulah. Higher kilowatts, bigger tap size. Now masuk dia duty cycle. Sekarang masuk. Okay. Higher kilowatt equals to bigger pipe or tap size. And this case, ini kipas. This is a fan. This fan has a selector, right? 1, 2, 3. Yang number 3 ni speed the maximum. So take note, bila kita guna 1, duty cycle dia rendah. Bila kita guna 2, lagi laju, the fan spins higher, their duty cycle gets higher. Lagi banyak tenaga digunakan. Number 3, maximum speed, for sure. Lagilah laju, lagilah banyak tenaga digunakan. So dia comparable macam kalau kita ada shower head yang boleh adjust speed. Adjust banyak air yang keluar. Ni speed 1, speed 2, speed 3 katakan. Ke 1, 2, 3, I'm not sure. Alright, but we have it is as if you are having a shower head with adjustable stream of water. Okay, so here comes, sekarang datangnya perkara berkenaan duty cycle. Okay, this duty cycle. Sorry, alright, lower speed results in lower duty cycle. Higher speeds, higher duty cycle. Okay, so take note of that word first, duty cycle. Berpusing-pusing dia. Alright. Next slide. The same topic, berapa banyak tenaga awak gunakan, boleh dibandingkan dengan banyak macam juga bil air. But this time, how long you use the appliance. Okay, kalau you guna kipas lebih lama, lagi banyaklah tenaga elektrik awak gunakan. Dan boleh dibandingkan, you can compare it with this one. There. Ini tap dia kecil. This one, the tap is bigger. In this tap, water can flow at 1 gallon per minute. So it takes 5 minutes to fill up the pail. Dalam case ni, the other case, 5 gallons come out, so it takes only 1 minute to fill up this pail. So between these two taps, it is comparable to, let's say, this is a 200 watt iron, very small iron, 200 watt. Yang ini iron streka yang 1 kilowatt. Alright, so you use this 200 watt for 5 minutes, sama macam awak guna streka yang 1000 watts hanya untuk 1 minit. Right, so take note of this. The longer you use the appliance, you use more energy. And if compared to water system, more water being used. So, switch off the fan when not in use. I say fan, it refers to this one. Bila saya kata kipas, macam guna pipe yang kecil. Switch off fan automatically when no one is present. Bila tak ada orang, kipas tutup sendiri secara automatik. Pun ada juga sistem yang macam tu. But then, if for 5 gallons, it's like for your air conditioner. Switch off aircon when not in. Switch off aircon when no one is present. Because these air conditioners, dia punya power rating dia lebih tinggi. Okay, 5 kali ganda maybe. So the next way how to save energy, use it efficiently. When you say efficient, do not waste. Okay, bila ada waste, efficiency jatuh. Your efficiency will drop when you have waste somewhere in the process. Okay. So for example, if you fill up water and your pail is leaking, the pail will never be full. Therefore, the tap has to keep open until it's full eventually. So in this case, kalau saya tunjukkan gambar ni, kalau awak nampak, kalau baldi tu bocor, awak isi air, bandingkan baldi tak bocor. Baldi dah bocor, tak bocor boleh penuh, tutup air. Tapi baldi yang bocor ni tak penuh-penuh, air kena terbuka saja. Waste So, don't promote waste. Elakkan pembaziran. So if you use the appliance inefficiently, more electrical energy is spent to keep the refrigerator cool, for example. For example, SpongeBob punya icebox tak tutup. Kalau kat rumah kita, if our house has this refrigerator door being left open, what happens? All the cold environment inside the refrigerator will go out, and then the compressor would have to work out more to keep the temperature inside the refrigerator to the desired level. In this case, duty cycle is its maximum. Okay. So let me explain to those yang bahas. Kalau kat rumah kita, icebox tak tutup pintu macam ni, sejuk-sejuk dia keluar, jadi kompresor tu kena sejukkan lagi dalam kebuk icebox, maka selagi awak tak tutup icebox awak, kompresor tu tetap akan bekerja non-stop. So dalam kes macam itu, duty cycle dia maksimum. Sebab apa? Kalau awak tutup pintu icebox tu, duty cycle dia tak akan maksimum sebab bila temperature dah cukup sampai katalah 18 darjah Celsius, 20 darjah Celsius yang awak dah set, kompresor akan stop bekerja. Right? Tapi in this case, like SpongeBob, it didn't close the refrigerator door. It is inefficient usage, and this increases cost without increasing benefit. So itu never do that. Okay. Okay. Use electricity efficiently. Do not waste. Next. Okay. We measure the electricity using this kilowatt hour meter. Look at the unit, kilowatt hour. Okay. And this is the old type. And I took this picture from the internet. This guy is trying to hack this meter using a magnet. Okay. But I can be fairly confident that because this is the rotating disc, you need a very strong magnet to slow down the rotation of this disc. Okay. So basically, they cannot hack it simply like that. Okay. Furthermore, nowadays we don't use this rotating disc meter anymore. Okay. We use all electric. So untuk this electric meter, ada disc yang berpusing. Meter ni ukur tenaga yang kita gunakan sahaja. Okay. Kalau awak tak guna dekat rumah, meter ni tak bergerak. Okay. Kalau meter ni bergerak, dia ikut berapa laju dia bergerak. So konsep dia sama juga macam meter air. That's the water flow meter. The same concept. More water flows, the more the meter turns. Alright. So now comes the next. Do you trust the meter that we have or that we are using? So let me help you out. In TNB, one of the TNB web pages, we have this, whereby TNB declares that all meters are calibrated and certified to metering guidelines. Then further, all meters are installed meet the Energy Commission metering guidelines. So Suruhan Jenayah Tenaga will monitor this calibration, right? They just monitor, but who has to do the calibration? TNB. When it has been calibrated, it is installed in our home. So there's no problem of you're not sure because it is calibrated. No worries. In IVAT, we do calibration, so we understand when it is calibrated. Furthermore, it is calibrated by this MSIEC 17025. We are very confident of the meters. Right, next. Okay, this is the issue that has popped up. Isu ni banyak naik sebelum ni. Orang kata TNB, charge lebih lah apa. Saya bukan nak. Okay, I'm not backing up TNB. I'm just giving out what I think. And this is my answer. Are we in any way cheated by TNB? The answer, nope. Right? Why? Later you will find out. But unless your meter is broken, TNB will replace it. But we have a problem. Maybe we are tampering. TNB will suspect that we are tampering with the meter. Okay. Number two, if there is a major electrical leakage after the meter inside our home, then there's a problem. Because whatever leakage, electrical leakage occurring after the meter, we have to pay for that. So here comes the importance of knowing what are the appliances being used and how they use the energy. So the issue might be ours. But other than that, misconfusion or lack of understanding of the process may cause someone to think that TNB is cheating and so on. But according to my knowledge, there's no way. All right, why? Because first of all, how is it built? The tariff. All right, and this tariff is not the recent one. This is just to show you 2013, 2014, and 2015. There have been changes of tariffs. The last tariff change is in 2018, and you can have a look at it at the back of your bill. That is the most current tariff. But what I'd like to share with you is that look at the tariff for this 2013. For the first 200 kilowatts hours, it's just 0.21 RM, 22 cents per kilowatt hour. Right? So 1 kilowatt hour is as if macam awak guna streka 1 kilowatt selama 1 jam tanpa henti dan sentiasa menggunakan streka. Sebab streka, ingat tak, kalau kita tak gunakan dia, kita biarkan dia, bila suhu dia sampai, dia off. Bila dia off, dia tak gunakan tenaga. Bila suhu tu dah turun balik, dia nak naikkan balik suhu, dia on balik, dia gunakan tenaga. So, that duty cycle mempengaruhi. That duty cycle affects how much energy is being used. An example, let's say, tapi jangan buat, don't do this at home. Let's say you use your iron, closed iron, streka awak, but then put the heating element inside water. So which means that the water will boil. So the iron would have to take or absorb electrical energy all the time to boil the water. So in that case, the duty factor might be 1, meaning that at all time it is absorbing electrical energy. All right. So the tariff is there. Why? Because if you use less power from TNB, you have to pay less. So it promotes users to integrate other sources of energy such as solar panel, all right, fuel cell, wind, all right. These are the types of energy, the so-called renewable energy, all right. But apart from that, this tariff also promotes efficient usage of electricity. Okay, if you can limit your usage, see, if you use around 200, 300, 400, 500, 6, 7, 8, 9, if you use 1028 kilowatt hours per month, you have to pay 388 cents at 2030. Okay, this is just like, so the tariff is there. How is it is built? Next, do you trust the bill? Don't worry. We have this Electricity Supply Act 90. Okay, and this Electricity Supply Act protects not only TNB, but also the users. All right. So that's why when people complain on TNB, the minister have to respond. All right, because it is all according to the Act. TNB cannot operate without any adherence to the Act. So ada akta TNB ni, Akta Bekalan Elektrik 1990 yang menentukan macam mana TNB nak bil kita. So akta ni akan melindungi kita dan juga TNB sebenarnya sebab akta ni dah diluluskan di Parlimen. So we have to trust, right? So how to save energy? Ingat, we have to acquire knowledge. Then use energy only when required. And efficient use of electrical appliance by minimizing the wasted energy. Motivation to reduce energy wasted during electrical appliance usage. We need to have the motivation. Think of our grandchildren and our great grandchildren and so on. Think about the future. Audit energy usage. Right? How much energy you use per month? You need to take note of that. Audit. Plan for efficient energy systems. How? Right? For example, your aircon can at the same time heat up your water for your shower. Okay, I have an example just earlier. Apply energy or management system for home or building. Right? If you have a building, because there's so many rooms, so many levels, then you need an energy management system or building management. But it is for your home, normal home. I don't know who, maybe you have a bungalow or whatever. You don't need to have a management system. You yourself can use the technology right now, IoT and so on, to have an energy management system at your home. Okay, next, what's power rating, appliances, and duty cycle? Okay, so, this is what I want to share with you. Your aircon, 750 watts. And how much do you use it in a month? Around 120 to 730 hours. 120 is like minimum usage, maybe 4 hours a day. 730 hours, you never turn it off, right? So with that, your bill, your kilowatt hours per month can be from 90 to 548 kilowatt hours. Okay. Air conditioner, watts 3,500, 3.5 kilowatt. You may be using it 240 hours a day, like 8 hours a day. And if you don't turn it off, 730 hours. And you have this, this is totally wrong. 1 to 47. Actually, you can just multiply it. For sure, it's not 1 to 47 kilowatt hours. 1 to 47 kilowatt hours is for this one, for the ceiling fan. Ceiling fan, 65 watts. Okay, usage maybe 1 or 2 hours a day, or maybe you don't stop it at all. You don't turn it off at all. Clock, electric clock, 5 watts. You use it for 730 hours per month. Yes, why? Don't turn it off at all. Well, it's only 4 kilowatt hours, right? Because 5 times around 800 hours, around 4,000 watt hours, 4 kilowatt hours. So, but take a look at this one, your clothes dryer. Your clothes dryer, 5 kilowatts. But you don't use it that much, right? You don't use it continuously unless you're a dry cleaner company. Okay, so that's how much energy that we use for this clothes dryer. Okay, so this is your washing machine with electric heater, washing machine without heater, your coffee maker, your computer, 200 watts, your crock pot or slow cook pot, 250 watts, your dehumidifier, 350 watts. Next. Okay, next, your dishwasher, 1.5 kilowatts. All right, with heater, without heater. Your electric drill, your electric blanket, we don't have that here. Your electric heater, we also don't have here. In Malaysia, we don't use electric heater. Your fan, portable fan, 115. Food blender and so on. Furnace. And lastly, you look here, 18 watts is your lighting, fluorescent lighting. Okay, 180 watts, 60 watts is your incandescent lamp. So basically, if you look at these two lists, the highest energy usage would be here. Actually, if you have an air conditioner and you don't turn it off at all. So that will be like 3,500 watts times 730 hours is going to be like more than 1,000 kilowatt hours per month. Okay? So you just imagine how much you have to pay for that. Next. So with that, the size, these are the conclusions. The size of appliance does not directly determine its power rating. Okay? It is how much energy it expels in doing its work, how much mechanical energy it comes out, how much resistive heating energy it comes out with, or how much light it comes out with. Okay, note that the highest power rating is the dryer. However, it is not always turned on. The lowest power consumption is the clock. It is turned on all the time, but it only takes 4 kilowatt hour per month. 4 kilowatt hour times 21 cents, only 80 cents per month. Okay. So why is dryer taking up so much power? Because look here, you have heating element to heat up, okay, the gas, and then you have the fan to blow up the hot air, and also you have the motor to turn the drum. So all this takes a lot of power, around 5 kilowatts. So this the clock doesn't take that much power. It is used all the while, but only 4 kilowatt hours. And then also the electric iron. If you use it for maybe 10 hours per month, then it costs you 10 kilowatt hours. 10 kilowatt hours times 20 cents, around 2 ringgit, right? Or 2 ringgit 10 cents per month. Okay. So you have an idea. And then further, you have lots of appliances. And this is an example where an appliance of a front loading machine. It uses less water, it saves energy, it consumes less detergent, but it right? So basically, you have to think, some appliances have a range of hours of usage depending on individuals and also depending on the sector used, whether you use heavy wash or mild wash and so on. Okay, so hence comes the issue of duty cycle. So if you use your washing machine for the mild wash, then the duty cycle is small. But let's say you are washing your jeans, so you have to use a lot, longer time, lots of rinsing and so on. The duty cycle becomes more. More duty cycle, more electricity is used. So less savings. So duty cycles refer to how frequent an appliance has to work in its normal operation. And if an appliance is not working efficiently, the duty cycle will rise as it has to operate at a longer time to achieve its desired task and also supply the wasted energy. Remember the SpongeBob's refrigerator just now? This is an example of SpongeBob's opened door refrigerator just now. Okay, so these are explaining the wastage of ovens, microwave oven, and so on. You compare to gas, and you can see that electrical ovens actually, compared to gas hobs, are much more efficient. All right. Okay. Maybe you can spend some more time to look at these slides, and I get it from ResearchGate, somebody's research. So here comes the duty cycle. A cycle of operation of a machine or other device which operates intermittently rather than continuously. Okay, just like a refrigerator. When the temperature rises more than what you set, the compressor starts to work. When the temperature reaches the temperature that you set, the compressor stops until the temperature rises again. Then it works again. Okay, so take a look at this duty cycle. Okay, and for your information, due to this duty cycle, the hours per month and kilowatt hours per month are given in a range of values, like example just now. Okay? So the maximum limit of the range is for maximum usage of the appliance, and the best example is setting the temperature of example of highest duty cycle is like this. You set the air conditioner to 16 degrees, and then you left the bathroom door open, you left the main door open, so all the cold air comes out, and therefore the air conditioner compressor have to work continuously without stopping. Where do we do this? This example, usually at the hotels lah, right? Bila sampai hotel, 16 degrees Celsius. Okay. A user has to be aware that the duty cycle increases as the power setting we apply on the appliance is a maximum. The duty cycle may also increase if the appliance is not used efficiently. Higher duty cycle usage shortens the life of appliances. Okay, if your compressor have to work without stop, for sure, it will break down much faster. So there is another technology, the inverter technology. It helps this duty cycle, reduce this duty cycle, thus reducing the power consumption. So that's why it is a bit more expensive, but it reduces the power consumption, this inverter technology. Okay, maybe we have time later. Okay, efficient use of electrical energy also minimizing waste. So how to minimize waste? No energy wasted. Special requirements for special homes. If you need to turn on your aircon 24 hours, you need to keep the insulation of the room well. So please change the mindset, not to how to just use enough energy rather than saving energy. We use just enough. All right. You save money, comes with it later. All right. However, when you use just enough energy, it may sacrifice your comfort. Well, decide between the cost, the need, and comfort, because you are the owner. You will know what you require. Okay. And then use of energy only required, and the same issue arises. So sometimes you devises the rules, but let's say nobody here, you turn off the lights, you turn off the air conditioning. But for a building management system, expert devises the rules, and these rules are used in a building management system, and we call this knowledge-based softwares or system as a building management. And then we can also use technologies such as motion sensors to auto turn off the appliance when no one is present. Okay. Another example would be when you use your aircon, you don't really require your air conditioner at during dawn, right? Okay, because it's already cold. So you can switch your aircon at 5 a.m. and that would save a lot of energy, because your room would still be cold. So how to save energy? Efficient use of electrical appliance by minimizing wasted energy. Okay, insulation of an air-conditioned room. Air conditioners or refrigerators compressors are noisy and shakes. If your appliance makes a lot of sound that it's not supposed to, then you need to service the appliance. Why? Because you service the appliance, later it doesn't waste energy. Heating element like clothes or iron or electric cookers needs time to heat up and also to cool down. So if you use your iron just to iron one shirt and then turn it off, you lose the energy to heat it up and also the energy to cool it down. Not used. So once you use your iron, make sure at least 5 or 6 clothes are done. Then only it will be like justified. Oh, one more thing. Watching TV at a lower lighting, all right, can save because you don't have to turn the brightness that much. Okay, motivation to reduce energy wasted during electrical appliance. Again, save cost, lowers the mechanical heating or load, better operation of appliance, longer appliance life with minimal maintenance, less noise, more comfort, saving the potentially wasted energy for future generations. That's the most important thing. Well, if you have time, you do the audit. The simple audit will do. Just compare the bill between previous months, but then you still need to know the power rating and estimate the duty cycle of your major appliances. All right, calculate the energy usage, compare with monthly meter reading, and how to do some efficient usage. You prioritize on your major appliances such as your air conditioner, if you have a dryer, and so on. Okay. Next, how to save energy. Plan for efficient energy system. This is an example. You see, this is the air conditioning system. The heat from the air conditioning system is used to heat up your hot water that you use for shower. Okay, that's an example. Okay, also you can use energy saving appliances such as inverter. LED fluorescent lamp. Don't use the incandescent lamp. Incandescent lamp, 70% of its power is turned out to heat. So only 30% of the power used is turned out to lighting. Right? And furthermore, the light is not really white. It's warm white. Okay. So warm white, cool white, there's a difference. Number 2, use sensors to automate the lighting and ambient temperature. Number 3, automate appliances to have better performance versus energy usage. Number 3 is simple, just like when you set the on time and off time for your air conditioner, you can also get that done. Apply power savings schemes when no one is at home. If possible, if you don't have a refrigerator at home, switch off the main switch whenever you leave for at a longer period because you don't have a refrigerator. But you have a refrigerator, you cannot do that. Okay, the above are actually like rules for the building management system. Okay. So next, how to save energy, apply energy management system for home. If you can use IoT now with a Blink, and then most homes have Wi-Fi and most appliances are Wi-Fi connected, so you can control them through your handphone. A set of simple rules may be implemented. Maybe you can turn on the aircon before you reach the room, or maybe you can turn off the aircon when there's no movement and so on. Okay. Now, this is the thing for electrical engineers. If you have transducers, meters, you can do online power consumption. So you can check out how much power is being used at a certain particular time. So when you have done this, every month you try to improve, try to minimize the usage of your electrical energy. So, sorry about that. I'm late, around 5 or 6 minutes late, but let's go to the conclusion. Number 1, this is my discourse outcome or conclusion. In our country, the electrical billing system can be trusted, right? Because we have that act. That act, Akta Bekalan Elektrik 1990, don't worry, it protects us and also TNB at the same time. Conclusion number 2. Energy cannot be created, therefore reserving some for the future is a must, right? We have to reserve this fossil fuel, okay, for the future generations. We cannot use them all like what the past people has done. Number 3, we ourselves, we need to have the knowledge to decide what appliances is like a need for us. Is it need or we want the appliance? Number 4, when using the needed appliance, utmost care is required to minimize waste by assessing the duty factor, for example. Right? Maybe you can apply auto off and auto on, for example. So we need to know, you need the knowledge. Number 5, regular audit keeps it lean. If you audit your electrical bill, compare it with the electrical appliance usage, then you will have a lean bill time. Number 6, automation is required if your house is really big. Okay. And number 7, technology can help us use electricity. Okay, you can use IoT, you can use Blink, right? And then some smart TVs, smart refrigerators, you call it. Okay, but as usual, it comes with a higher price. Okay, done for today. Apologies for taking such a long time to present, but that's what I want to share with all of us. All right, but the main idea is save energy. Okay. Okay, if you have any questions while we are thinking about questions, let me share with you another topic. You know about the standby power? Your Wi-Fi router, your